So we're going to talk about time, but time is slightly a limited word. Really, it's not. We use it in many different ways, but I say limited because we only have one word to describe more than one thing. To give you guys an example, we're going to look at the Greek words for time. There's two words in Greek. There is Chronos and there is Kairos. Now, Chronos is a word you probably recognize because it's a word that describes chronology, the order of time. We can depict it as timelines. We also depict it as calendars. We measure it every single day in seconds, minutes, and hours. We measure time by the sand going through an hourglass or by the way the sun passes us each day. Time is always measured, and it's a quantitative thing. And that is what Chronos is talking about, the quantity of it. Now, that would lead us to ask, what is Kairos? See, Kairos is not talking about the quantity of time, but it is talking about the quality of time. So what ways can you measure the quality of time? I want you guys to take a second to think about that. In what ways are you measuring the quality of time? Now, it could be measured in what you are doing at that moment. It could also be measured in how things are that day. Often Greeks use the word kairos to talk about the weather. Weather is the quality of the time. It could be the season of the year, right? Right now it's fall. It's starting to become nicer temperatures. That is a quality of time. Now, kairos is a word that's often used to talk about the time for decisive action. When your teacher starts class and says, it's time, they're not saying, oh, you know what? Hey, look at the hour. It's time for us to start. No, they're talking about it's time for us to do something. It's time for us to learn. Is that moment of action that they are asking for. When someone says the phrase, the time is now, they're talking about a critical or an opportune moment to take action, right? And that is what Chronos is used for. The talking about how you're going to use your time. So I want you guys to think about that. Are you just going to wait for time, as in Chronos, to pass by and for the day to be over? Or are you going to use Kairos and take action each day and make the most of it? This year's theme is Green Light Go. And Green Light Go is telling us Kairos. It is telling us when the light is green, it is time to take action. And you guys, the light is green. It is time for us to take action. So just like we talked about in our first module, you guys, I gave you guys this little slide where we talked about stagnation, order, complexity, and chaos. It is how your quality of time is being spent. Stagnation is when you sit there and stare at your teacher for 45 minutes, hoping that class ends sooner. Order is when you're following all the procedures, you know what's going on. Honestly, order is a comfortable thing because you know what to expect. Then there's complexity. It's a little uncomfortable in complexity because you don't know what to expect, but you know with effort you can achieve it. Then there's chaos. Chaos is when there is no order, when there is nothing going on that we can recognize. We start to lose the ability to learn because things are out of control. It's like that sock pile building up in the back of your cabinet. And unless you take the time to wash and fold those socks, it's going to get out of control. Okay, guys. So when you hear the phrase green light go, I want you to think Kairos. I want you to think, what can I do this year to take advantage of my time? Let's do it, you guys. Green light go.